is, as I said in the last update video regarding the spell changes, I don't think a lot of the spell changes were going to persist. And today we have yet more spell changes in Wizard101 in the test realm. So today, as it seems we've started a trend to do this, we're going to show the new spell changes. And today we're going to start off with Myth. Some of them minor, some of them kind of major, and some of them I think are bugged and glitched. So let's start off with Myth though. So our first change today is coming in the form of Medusa. Medusa got buffed up 700 damage. Buffed up 100 damage to 700. So before it was 600 base with the 2-round stun, and now 700 base with the 2-round stun. I think that's fine as well. Basilisk, I believe, got buffed. I believe it was like 240 with 650 over 3 rounds or something like that. And now it's 320 with 750. Oh, whew, for a second I thought it said it's stunned for 3 rounds, but no. So it just does a bit more damage, still stuns. Everything else here is the same. Celestial Calendar got buffed back up, now at 930 to 990. If I'm being frank, I don't remember the previous values, but I do know that this is a buff. Mystic Colossus, Snake Charmer, Witch's House Call, still all the same. Scion of Myth. Remember last time I said that it was weaker than Scion of Balance, but they buffed it back up. Before it was at 905, I believe, myth damage. Now we're at 1010 myth damage. So 1010 damage. I think that's pretty solid. Shouldn't have been weaker than Balance, but man, do I got some things to show you for Balance. That's all the changes for Myth, so let's go ahead and keep it pushing. My bad. Now we're back on the Balance, discussing changes, and oh boy, we got some big ones. So first major change, I 100% think this is a glitch. There's literally no way that this is actually going through, but 4 pips. They basically just gave us another Sandstorm. I think they replaced this value. I think they meant to give this to Ra, because Ra is now at 460 to 540 and minus that to everyone for 8 pips, and Power Nova is 4 pips. If they keep it 7 pips, then I can understand, you know what I'm saying, just have a straight damage spell, just kind of like how Orthrus is. But there's no way this is meant to be. There's no way. The next change is in Ra. Again, I don't know if they got mixed up or if they're just changing Power Nova into, like, Power Nova's utility into Ra. I don't know what their plan is, because I don't know if this is glitched or bugged or whatever it is, but yeah. Another change coming in Sabretooth. 13 pips. Not worth, in my opinion. 805 to 905 damage. So they dropped the damage at 100, but now when you use Sabretooth, it puts a minus 50 elemental and spirit shield on you. That's 6 shields that it puts on you. But for 13 pips, I don't think that outvalues Scion of Balance. Even without Scion of Balance damage doubling, it still doesn't do as much. So why would you use an extra 2 pips just for some minus 50 shields? I don't know. That's kind of weird, champ, to me, but it is what it is. Also, King Artorias for Balance getting a buff. I think the damage was a bit lower than 665, but even if it wasn't, a minus 45 now as the charm, instead of a minus 20 that it was, or minus 25 that it was last time. And I believe that is all the spell changes for Balance. Okay, on to Fire, a very popular one with these updates because of all the PvP changes and stuff like that. First change we have is coming in the form of, well, King Artorias back up to 835 damage, still the same utility. Afreet now back up to 780 damage with the minus 45 charm. I think that's okay. Afreet. Rain of Fire reverted back to its previous concept, doing a smaller hit originally and then bigger damage over time. 130 plus 810 over 3 rounds. I think that's very good. Sun Serpent getting buffed back up again from about 600 to like 800, or 600 to 700 damage to 785 to 885. And then it also does 330 damage to all the others. And before, I think it was doing 200. The original one, the original spell that's currently in Live Realm, does 900 to 1,000 with 300 to hit all. So this is, I think this is in a fine spot. Raging Bull and everything else is still the same. Okay, now moving on to Ice. We do have a change that I wasn't expecting. It's nothing crazy, but it is a change. First things first, Frostbite got buffed. Only slightly, but it did get buffed. Frostbite used to be 70 damage plus 485, I believe, over 3 rounds. Now it does 80 damage plus 495. I don't know if this was in the last one and I just didn't see it, but it got buffed by 10 damage on both sides. Nothing too crazy, but it is a buff. Another spell that got buffed is Colossus. Colossus was doing 500 to 580 damage, now at 515 to 595. So this looks right though. I don't know why. Maybe the 500 to 580 was a nerf or something, and I'm just going crazy. King Artorias up to 650. I really don't remember the previous values for King Artorias. There were so many of them. Woolly Mammoth definitely did get buffed up to 740 to 840 with a stun still. Lord of Winter also got buffed 835 to 935, and now it subtracts 2 pips instead of taking 3 or like getting rid of 3. And I believe that is all the changes. They fixed the Snowball Barrage, so now it has like this enchant on it. It is technically a buff. I don't know if it's just does an extra 250 base damage on the hit, or how this works. I guess it's just kind of like an enchant, an additional enchant, but I think this is good because there's no reason that Snowball Barrage should be weaker than Tempest. So I'm fine with that. This isn't used in PvP. It's really good for PvE, for Ice Wizards, so I am fine with this spell being stronger. And that is all the changes that I have seen for Ice. So I'm on my Life Wizard, but the first thing I want to point out that I noticed is the Sword of Kings has a new like design. It looks much more detailed now, and it has like these green gems in it, which leads me to believe that the other schools will probably have like the blue ones and the red ones. I think that's pretty sick. Will I stitch it? Probably not, but like it looks cooler, I guess. So, but anyways, going on to the life changes. One big change, kind of big. Rebirth got buffed again. Rebirth now at 870 for a heal. I think what they're trying to do is make it outvalue Pigsy so that you have more of a reason to not just go for Pigsy and instead force the Rebirth. Before, Pigsy only had 100 less heal in total, like a base heal, than Rebirth. Rebirth was at 650, Pigsy being at 550. Them buffing it up 300 more health than Pigsy will definitely make it more valuable to use, and you know, make you really think, do I use Pigsy or do I save up the extra pips and go for the Rebirth? Gnome's also getting a change. Instead of putting the infection on, now does 740 to 840 damage and puts a guiding light on you. So that's the plus 30 outgoing heal thing. You can combo that into whatever heal you want if you're a Life Wizard or anything like that. I'm not sure if Spinosaur got buffed. I don't remember the values, but if it did, you guys will be able to tell. 475 plus 690 over 3 rounds. Everything else here seems to persist the same. The damage could have gone up, but I don't think it did. I think 650 is where it was at for life. And Wings of Meat is still the same. So on to death real quick for some of the final changes. Skeletal Dragon. I don't really know if this is a buff or a nerf. I mean, technically it does more damage overall, but now does 170 plus 780 over 3 rounds as opposed to 50 and 900. I mean, I guess 900 was kind of strong, so 170 plus 780 over 3 rounds. That doesn't seem too bad to me. Dr. Von's monster is brought back up to 810 damage, and King Artorias is back up to 710 for death. One thing I also failed to mention is that now enchants do apply 100% to health stealing attacks. What I mean by that is previously if you were to buff a Scarecrow with an epic, instead of going up 300 damage, it would go up like 200. Now it actually goes up the full 300. So Wraith will do 800 damage, 890 on Scarecrow, 1110 on Dr. Von's, and stuff like that. So you get a lot more utility out of your health steal, or a lot more value, I'm sorry, out of your health stealing attacks. And these are all the same. Okay, so as always, since I don't have a Storm Wizard, I have to get one of my friends to share screen. The first change coming in the form of King Artorias for Storm, that has to be glitched. There's 0% possibility they leave a 6-pip doing 1115 on base. There's no way. There's no way. There's 0% chance. That's going to go back up to 8 pips, 100%. But now it's at 1115 base damage. Could you go to the next page, please? Whoa, Siren's getting a buff. 765 to 905 with the minus 40. Nice. Giving it some decent utility still and buffing the damage just a little bit, giving it just a little bit more oomph, making it a bit better than just the 730 base damage. I think that's actually really good. I'll take that. Storm Owl, I don't know if that's a buff or a nerf, but now it does 1330 to 1470. I think it was 1325 to 1425 or like 13. It was something like that. But the damage definitely got changed because 1330 does not look normal from the last update. Scion of Storm still at 1400. Iron Sultan still the same. Rusalka's looks the same, and Glowbugs as well looks the same. Could you go to the left in pages a few times? I want to see if there's any. No. Yeah, it doesn't. Go one more. Let's see if there's any other. One more, please. Oh, you can't even go anymore. Yeah. I guess there's not any other changes for Storm. Thank you, Sky. I appreciate that. So overall, with all these changes, I think they're really cool. This is excluding the whole 4-pip Power Nova for 665 because there's no way that is actually going through. There's 0% chance. 0% chance. There would literally be no point in using Sandstorm ever. So I don't know what's up with that. But aside from all that, these changes are really beneficial. Freeze in a better spot. Sirens is in a better spot. Medusa's in a better spot. Basilisk is in a better spot. Like, they're working on changes to Ra. They're working on changes to other balance spells. Myth Scion is in a better spot. Rain of Fire is in a better spot. They buff little things like Frostbite, Colossus. So I think all of these changes are really beneficial and good. And I'm glad because I knew that they were going to get a lot of backlash for their prior changes. So I'm glad that they're making changes, keeping us up to date and doing them very, very fast. So we should be grateful for them, at least not only making changes, but doing them very efficiently and being very transparent with us. So I do think they will make more changes and we'll see them probably in the coming days. But otherwise, it's been your boy Hi Guy. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, a like would be greatly appreciated. And until next time,